everybody. Happy Sunday. It's the Gault family.
It's the Gault family. We're here.
All
we should
right.
probably be playing for the Browns right now, but we're here.
Right.
Because they're missing the whole team.
The whole team is down, but you guys are big Browns fans and obviously big fans of our community. And the past couple weeks, for people who are maybe just joining us for the first time, we do have that from time to time, right, Mike? Explain to them what we're doing here.
All right, today we're going to pick a winner that somebody's going to get a free furnace thanks to the folks at Gault Heating and Air Conditioning. Whose idea was this in the first place? I never heard.
Well, it actually started with Lauren and one of our installation coordinators talking.
Yeah. Joe was inside our house, Mike, because we have had some heating issues, and then we've had a few things here and there pop up, and they were so wonderfully kind. And he was like, you know what? I think they would love to give away a furnace with you guys. Do you think that would be possible?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
have you ever done that before?
So we've done this, actually, the last couple of years. We've been able to be fortunate enough to be able to put it in a situation where we were to help during the holiday season. And then since we've been doing this a little bit, like I said, Joe and Lauren got talking, and she said, "Hey,
we could do it in a really big way."
Yeah. So
what's the value of a furnace?
People are spending $2,000 to $4,000 depending on what they're picking.
It's a big chunk, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And how long are they typically good?
They're lasting 15 to 20 years is kind of the average these days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've had lots and lots of people that have logged on to our website or your website to enter for this contest. I mean, we're talking almost, 60, 70 people that have been out there, and the stories, we have read through them, and we're going to have a big announcement at the end of the show. So just, you guys got to stay with us. And it's as I was reading through some of them, it's hard, right? There's so many people who have really put their heart and soul out there for people that they love and that people that need this. And I didn't really expect that to hit me so hard. So guys, thank you for giving back in a huge, powerful, impactful way. It is such, sometimes we forget.
Yeah, so generous. Thanks so much.
Just unbelievable.
This is the valley that supports us, and during the holiday season, when you hear some of these different stories, it makes you want to give back, and it makes you feel great during the holiday season to be able to contribute and do what you can do.
Well, we're going to help one lucky winner here in about an hour, so stick around to watch that.
We have a great show. And Mike, the first one, you know me. If I see an ice sculpture, I'm in heaven. Like, you could just put them, in front of my front lawn, and I'd be one happy lady to get up at 6 a.m. every day.
And they stay around longer than you think. I'm not a big cold weather fan. You cold weather fans, or do you like the warm weather better?
I like both.
I like the season.
I think we're lucky to have
I like cold weather for skiing, but that's about it.
Okay. You shouldn't do skiing, from what I heard.
Oh, look out.
Anyways, the ice sculpting season is really this time of year, as you would imagine, and one gentleman from the Valley, from West Middlesex, makes that his career. We just thought this was really cool. So, Ice Baby, here we go.
Okay, and see this line here? That's the exact center of it right there.
Okay. Chances are you don't know too many people like Jeff Kaiser. He's an ice sculptor and one of the best in the world.
I tell them I sculpt ice, and they don't get it. They don't have no idea how deep it is, as far as what we do and where we go. And, it's just like a band of artists that just travel all over the world together doing stuff, you know?
He's very rare and getting more scarce as the years go by.
We are going to have a shortage next year of ice carvers, yes. I've been predicting it for about 5 years now, and it looks like it's going to happen next year because so many jobs are coming onto the market for people to do. There's just we can't train people fast enough to do what needs to be done.
Yeah. Jeff and his wife Precious don't really do the wedding and local event circuit anymore. Instead, they travel across the country and all over the world.
I just got back from Germany.
Yeah.
And I did a 125 block sculpture over there. Pretty proud of it. The Russian sculptors are pretty amazing. So it was a learning experience for me, but I'm still proud of what I did there. And then we did an ice bar recently in the Poconos, and we did a 500 block maze in Washington, D.C.
He and his team win prize money and top awards.
The past 5 years in Alaska, 2 bronze medals, 2 gold medals, and a silver medal, team events.
Got to be happy with that.
I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
Luckily, we caught up with him before he headed out to places like Dallas, Florida, and Alaska in the coming weeks, and we had him do a little sculpting for us.
So what we'll do is we'll measure down 30, we'll split the block in half, we'll iron it, turn it, stack it. We have templates there of the logo. We'll just put the template on it, cut it out, detail it, and it'll be done.
So he gets to it. The block is short, so he has to split it long ways, stack it, and adhere it together.
I found that bottled water in Alaska works the best for making these kinds of scenes.
So you're just kind of fusing it together.
Yeah. It doesn't have any impurities in it.
All stacked, and the template is on. Now it's time to carve. Finally, he's done. Jeff makes it look easy, but really, it's hard work.
It's good, it's physical, and it's probably the equivalent to going to the gym all day long.
Yeah.
You know, we burn, if we're working in the freezer or in the cold, probably like 6,000 calories a day. So we eat really big meals and like a lot of protein stuff and vitamins and whatnot, just to stay healthy, you know.
And just like ice in warm temperatures, Jeff and his fellow sculptors know they have a shelf life too.
Well, that was a big debate between a bunch of my friends. We're all in our 50s now, and we're like, well, how much longer can we do this? You know, with like my buddy's knees blown out. I'm starting to get arthritis in my hands really bad. You know, but I think we're figuring 5 more years and we'll be good.
So for now, he'll keep going and keep wowing the crowds all over the world. But if you do see one of his works, don't expect to see him anywhere near it.
I like to disappear.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't get the accolades?
Don't care.
But it's cool to get a medal.
Oh yeah, that's bragging rights.
Oh, did you love that?
I do. I'm a big fan of his. I've seen him do it in person, and it's astounding.
And we just caught him. He's in Dallas now. I think he goes to Florida after that, and then he takes on the big boys in Alaska for this huge competition.
We hope he wins.
Yeah. Good luck, Jeff.
Absolutely. We'll be praying for you. And there's a lot of reason in this show that we are sending out good thoughts, good vibes. We're here at Gault Heating and Cooling, where we've been doing it for several weeks now online. But this season, sometimes, you know, we've got people that are in need and are dealing with things. And we're going to spend some time giving some props to some people that we know have had a rough year. Right, Mike?
Yep. Let's do that after this break.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. I'm constantly asked by news sources how to best navigate today's real estate market. I call the brightest agents in the business to get their input. Hi, Kelly. What's going on in the Mahoney Valley area?
Hi, Barbara. The market in the Mahoning Valley has remained strong.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Sellers are enjoying the safety of the Guaranteed Sold program, and buyers and sellers love the 3D tour and the free moving truck.
Get the best advice from my friend Kelly Warren. Go to kellysoldit.com. Be safe and smart.
Bistro 1907 is a classic yet unique American bistro. This space lets us immerse ourselves in history. The dishes are inspired by our past but have a modern twist. Bistro 1907 by Mark Canzonetta is unlike any place else. Find out why. I'm Mark Canzonetta, and I welcome you to Bistro 1907.
Hi, this is Elfie, the Metro Monthly Elf. I'm here to tell you about all the cool stuff you'll find at the Metro Monthly store. We have hoodies and sweatshirts and clothing for Dad. We have posters and aprons and messenger bags. We have Boots, Bell, Idora, plus t-shirts and caps. We have frame prints of downtown, plus note cards and maps. We have big sizes, small sizes, and plus sizes too. We have cool stuff for Grandma and cool stuff for you. So stop by today, and please don't delay. Our workshop is humming. The store's up and running. We're here for this season, your holiday store. So shop Metro Monthly for all this and more.
Well, Ducat not only sells the product, but we service them. We have parts and service support for every machine that you buy at Ducat. You are purchasing a machine, it's eventually going to break or need work, and we are here to do that. You don't get that from an online sale or a mass merchant. They just don't have the ability to have the parts and the service. We send our mechanics to school every year. We have 2 Briggs & Stratton master service technicians. There are not many in the country, probably less than 5,000 in the country, and we have 2 at Ducat. And we also have gold certified steel mechanics and numerous certifications in parts and service for every brand that we carry.
So let yourself go to Ducat. Let yourself go to Ducat.
Welcome back to Valley Spotlight in the shop here at Gault Heating and Cooling, where we're going to make someone's Christmas one of their best ever. I guarantee it.
Wait.
It's going to be so much fun.
I can't wait. And you know what? Sometimes the holidays, you always say, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with you.
Say it all the time. But how much do we really mean it?
Well, we mean it on this show. And Tommy Matthews has been a huge fixture when it comes to forged in fire and creating knives, and is in the fight of his life when it comes to cancer. And this is just a couple of years ago before we knew something was wrong.
Yep, so we did this story. So let's take a look back at what a special person he really is.
It's here, in a small town in West Virginia, just south of East Liverpool, where Tommy Matthews perfects his craft. This tiny shed is all this maker needs to feel right at home.
It's easy to get out of bed in the morning and know that this is what I'm coming to. You know, it's hard to walk away from it at the end of the day, because it's like so much that I could be doing and want to be doing, but then you got to have a little bit of a balance and have a little bit of a life.
Tommy spent 10 years in the military and fought in Desert Storm before finding a civilian job as a sales manager for a steel company. When hard times hit, Tommy went all in on perfecting the craft that he loves.
That decision was made for me, so I don't know that I could have ever just quit my day job and done this full time, but when I was presented with that, I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. All I can do is fail, and I've failed before, so.
That's when Crooked River was forged.
The love for making just kind of came to me out of necessity for myself. Like, I could never afford high-end furniture or really nice cutlery. So when I made that first knife, I was like, wow, man, I just feel like I can do this. I was into like woodworking and making pallet furniture before I got into this, and decided I had a pretty strong knowledge of metalworking, being in the fabrication industry for as long as I was, and I wanted to start incorporating like old work, old school ironwork into some of my pieces. So I went out, bought an anvil and forge, and first thing I ended up making was a knife, and I was hooked. And I haven't really touched the furniture business ever since. You know, I get people that stop in here and ask, and I'm just not at a place right now where I want to do that. I love working with knives because it lets me work with the 3 medias that I love the most, which is metal, wood, and leather. And you know, it's such a variety to get to if you get burned out with grinding or pounding or working with the wood, you switch over. I'm going to go work on some leather for a little while and sit down, chill out.
Tommy has taken his hobby and turned it into a successful full-time business and has sold knives all over the country.
I think I'm getting really close to getting all 50 at this point. But yeah, I just recently sold one to a girl up in Alaska that's also a maker, woodworker. She's doing a lot of the cool resin stuff as well and super talented. So I got my first knife in Alaska, which is huge.
These knives are special not only to Tommy, but his customers as well. Each knife is a piece of art in their own ways, and they'll be cherished for years to come.
People come to me, especially like a lot of the hunters, they want a pass down knife so that they can pass it down to their kids and their kids pass it down. So when you're building something like that, it's just, it's gonna outlive you.
Tommy's drive to make something symbolic and meaningful for people isn't slowing down, and neither is his love for his craft.
Here I am, doing what I love to do, listening to the birds and the bees, the cows sometimes, you can hear the cows, and being in downtown Cleveland, just such a different environment to be here. And I'll always love Cleveland. I mean, it was a great place to set up shop and have some roots, but I'm a West Virginia boy.
We wish Tommy Matthews the very, very best.
Fingers crossed.
There's another person that has been a huge part of our community, especially in Hermitage and Buell Park, Sue McLaughlin. It is a name synonymous with hard work and dedication, and she too is back facing cancer once again, and so we want to just make sure she knows how truly special she is.
Next Thursday, same time, same place?
Sue McLaughlin never stops.
How'd you hit against Justin?
She never stops moving or smiling or teaching.
I will see you next week. Linz, I'll see you next week.
For so many people in the Sharon area, Sue has been a teacher who goes above and beyond the simple definition.
If you want to be their agent, you can.
She is so sweet and patient with all of the kids. She has kids of all ages. Lindsay started when she just turned 8. And just, it doesn't matter if it's 95 degrees out on that court, and if she has 10 kids out there, she manages them all, and just with the same kindness and to every single one of them.
Bottom line, I want to teach them a sport they can play forever, but bottom line, they have to have fun. And if we're not having fun out there, there's no sense doing it.
Sue is a staple here in the Valley. Everybody that knows anything about tennis or is interested in tennis or wants to play tennis knows Sue McLaughlin is the person to go to.
Sue is synonymous with everything about Buell Park.
Nicely done.
After all, the tennis courts are named after her, and her devotion to this community resonates. She started her teaching career as a swim coach, but tennis is why so many know her so well.
Our local high school needed a swimming coach. Okay, I'll coach swimming and we'll get you a teaching job. So, coach swimming. Well, then all of a sudden, I continued to play tennis for fun. Well, then the tennis coaching job opened up. Okay, I'll do that. So 56 seasons later, I did 28 years of the girls' team, 28 years of the boys' team. See ya.
And all these years later, the little girl who once rode her bike to Buell Park is now the proverbial poster child for this remarkable place.
I could not have been more humbled or honored when they chose me for that. I met with them and they said, would you accept this honor? I mean, it was a resounding, my gosh, yes. And I just want to live up to what Frank and Julia Buell have given to the community. This is my home away from home.
And her commitment to the park applies to Avalon at Buell Park as well.
So I work 6 days a week somewhere, but I always say it's like working at Disneyland, because who's not happy to be there?
Sue has spent the last 13 years working at the country club in 3 different departments.
We are so blessed to have this club that is so affordable to the entire, it's a tri-state area now, it's grown that large. And I love to see people coming out using the pool, using the fitness center, coming over here, using the golf course. Of course, the park has the only free 9-hole golf course in the world. You get out of your car with your clubs, you walk on the course, you play. But this is a first-class golf course here. Challenging, but first class. The community really is blessed that Fran and Ron have opted to invest in our community. All right, so we get the point. It's 2-2.
And she has stayed invested in teaching and free lessons at the park that she once took as a child.
Oh, yes. Every summer I offer a series of 24 free lessons, 8 for beginners, 8 for intermediates, 8 for adults, free of charge, because I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for the free lessons that the park offered.
Rain or shine, hot or not, Sue seems to have a way of winning on the court and off.
All right.
And she is a fighter in ways that you may not immediately notice. 12 years ago, she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. Today, she is still fighting and still smiling.
Oh, yes. And 14, I was re-diagnosed. It spread to my lungs and my spine and my hip. And I'm still in treatment for that. I'm upright. I get a chemo treatment every 2 weeks. And the scans all are looking pretty good. So every day is a gift and every day is a blessing. All right, oh, and here goes.
As we watched Sue be Sue, it was easy to see her immediate effect on everyone she comes in contact with. Generations of people gravitate to her for countless reasons.
Just sitting here watching her for 5 minutes, you can see how much she loves teaching.
It's all part of God's master plan. I'm a firm believer in that. That's why I'm standing here with stage 4 breast and lung and spine cancer. And it's all part of God's master plan. He's not done with me yet. And I hope for a long time he's not done with me.
Well,
you know her.
I know. She's great. And if anyone can beat it again, it's that lady.
Gonna be
She's one of the strongest people I know.
Fingers crossed, Sue. We are here. Our thoughts and our prayers are with you today and always. We will be right back with more Valley Spotlight from the Gault Heating and Cooling shop.
Yeah.
And this time you get to hang out with a lady that isn't just Pizzelles anymore.
Well, yes, it is.
Is it Just Pizzelles?
Just Pizzelles.
It is?
That's it.
I thought we had more, but that's okay. Christina, I'm just joking. I'm sorry.
Be right back.
A to Z Dependable Services now offers walk-in tubs and showers in as little as 1 day. Let us create a safer bathing experience in your bathroom or the shower of your dreams. Call A to Z Dependable Services today for a free estimate or visit us online at onlyatoz.com.
And it really all started with salt, with Himalayan sea salt. That's where it all started because of a patient who came in and told me about the benefits of salt therapy, which is inhaling Himalayan sea salt, an aerosolized Himalayan sea salt. And I found that my patients were having fantastic results using salt therapy, and I wanted to know how could I incorporate the Himalayan sea salt into products that would benefit the sinuses and the skin. And that's where Salt Me was born.
Papa Canzonetta's peppers, recipe established in 1975. A family secret is now yours to share with the people who add spice to your life. Choose from mild and hot versions, plus our famous original blend too. They're the perfect punch for any dish, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We've got the recipes to prove it. Just follow us on Facebook, order online at papacans.com and pick your peck. papacans.com, order 6 jars or more and qualify for free shipping. We like it hot. We're glad you do too.
A Youngstown holiday tradition is back as an all-new TV special. Join Maureen Collins, Todd Hancock, and over 100 singers, dancers, and Little Rascals for the Miracle on Easy Street Hometown Christmas Special. December 22nd, right here on WBCB.
3, 2, 1, 0, 0.
Welcome back to the shop here at Gault Heating and Cooling. We're in, I don't know, about 20 minutes or so.
I'm looking at my watch. I don't have one.
We're giving away a furnace to some lucky viewer. That's awesome, isn't it?
It couldn't be any better.
So when I was a kid, as we got down for Christmas, her grandfather would buy this giant block of Parmesan cheese. And I had to grate it. for Christmas so that we could put it in the wedding soup and
Is
on our
that why
pasta.
you have a broken arm?
Possibly.
Okay.
My brother's job was to make the pizzelles.
Oh, with
So
iron.
I always feel like pizzelles are a Christmas cookie.
They are. In my opinion, they are.
Well, not at Just Pizzelles,
No, that's
where
not-
they
that's
do it and
true.
do it and do it all year long.
And they're
So
delicious.
I thought this would be a fun story for the holidays.
So I used to do all these different cookie orders for all the holidays, do like 50 different types of cookies for Christmas. One of my aunts ordered, and she ordered Pizzelles. I didn't know they were her favorite cookie. And I just did vanilla and anise like everyone else. And she's like, you need to start selling those.
That was over a decade ago, and it turns out Christina Benton's aunt, Aunt Pat, was right. Although it took some convincing.
Now, she was a little older, so I thought maybe she was losing it a bit. But she used to have a very successful retail store back in her day, if you know of Mackenzie Square, Christmas store. So maybe she was onto something, and I started looking at shipping.
Make her pizzelle cookies and sell them. Some like the idea, some not so much.
So I started researching, and I started talking to friends. They didn't like the idea because they didn't like the anise pizzelles. And then so I was like, well, who said they had to be anise? So we started making all these flavors.
And Just Pizzelles was born, a new twist on a traditional Christmas and Easter cookie. Hers were small, fancy, and all different flavors. Anything but traditional.
You know, I think the first craft show I did 13 flavors, and people thought I was nuts.
And now?
A little over 90. I haven't counted lately.
So many flavors. And Christina, her husband Alan, and her staff are always trying to think of more. But the most popular and her favorite?
They're the same. Margarita. Always been my favorite. I didn't know it was going to be the most popular. But still to this day, we cannot even keep it in stock half the time, as much as we do it.
Do you remember when you created that one?
Oh, yeah. Can you tell what kind of day I was having? I need a margarita.
Take me through it.
Yeah.
Why would she get stressed? Well, 12 years after opening, Just Pizzelles is a big business. They have this showroom in Cortland, and they ship all over the world.
Alaska, Afghanistan, Oman, Australia, Germany.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
How are they
we go
finding
everywhere.
out?
Right? Usually family, friends that have moved or lived, military in Oman. It's been crazy.
And when the pandemic hit and everyone had to stay inside and order food and groceries and everything online, their experience had them prepared and all ready to go.
I mean, it was, and now it just continues to be. That's the new norm for a lot of people that didn't realize all the stuff they could get shipped into them. So it was nice we were already doing that. However, it was still crazy last year. Like, that was one of our biggest years ever.
Same for this year. And the opportunities keep rolling in.
We've been asked to do that. We've been asked to franchise. We've been asked to wholesale. But with shipping, honestly, that's our key. Like, we do so many gift options, whether it's corporate gifting, fundraisers, just everyday gifts for people. For all their family events, weddings, showers, you name it, we're a part of it.
So keep an eye out for more from Christina and her gang. They're happy with the progress, but they're not satisfied.
No, we're never good. Never good.
Let me hear it.
I don't know. See, there's so much to do. That's the thing, entrepreneur life. Like, I have 10 million ideas, but I have to keep focused. I have, like my husband that reins me in, keeps me on track, keeps me focused.
And even though she's focused on the business, Christina still likes to take a step back and see the difference that she makes. Still love it?
Yes, love it. That's what I said, it doesn't feel like a job. Like, oh, you're going to work today. Well, kinda, but I'm just making cookies. Like, I'm not changing the world greatly. However, it's really neat to hear people's stories, because to them, I'm creating these memories or remembering their traditions of people that no longer make them, so they get to relive their memories and create some new ones.
JustPizzelles.com. You can't get them for Christmas anymore. That ship has sailed. But there's Easter and there's weddings and showers and all sorts of things.
And they're delicious, all the different kinds. And she's just a
90
lovely lady.
kinds.
I know.
Crazy.
She is not giving up on any of that. That's for sure.
All right, time for Home Advantage.
Yes, interest rates are still something that people are talking about nonstop. So Kelly Warren has the 411, everything taken care of for you.
Welcome
to Home Advantage with Kelly Warren of Kelly Warren and Associates. Good to see you, Cal.
You too.
You guys have been busy.
We have been. The market has been fantastic. We're loving every minute of it.
Right. And we all are wondering, like, is it going to end? These super low mortgage rates that we've had for about a year and a half now, they're starting to creep up. Is that because of the season, or like what's going on?
So, well, there's no crystal ball. I wish I could tell you, because everybody wants to know what's happening in the market. How are things, But what we are seeing right now is rates are still at an all-time low from years and years of averages. Right. But from what they were a month or two ago, they're starting to make their little way up. Okay. Little tiny blips, not whole percentages at a time. But we are anticipating seeing them to keep moving north throughout the next year.
Okay, so if people are thinking about making the decision to move, locking in a rate, what's the lock-in rate, checklist that people need to be thinking about? How long can you lock a rate in for?
It's a little bit different with each bank, and a lot of them want you to actually find your house and then lock you in. You can lock in while you're looking, but lock-ins are only good for so long, so then you'll need extensions if you don't find a house right away, and you pay for those rate lock extensions. Now, if rates were going to drastically be moving up, then I'd say, the rate lock extension is going to be cheaper than the drastic rate change, but they're going to go up small and slow. Okay. And really, a tenth of a point of a rate over a 30-year mortgage isn't a huge difference.
Right, it's not.
So it's still a great time to be buying, but they are starting to head up there.
Well, we're in a kitchen right now in a house that is technically a flip. But, if somebody's coming in here and they're saying, well, everything else is great, but I'm going to use a home equity line of credit because I want to redo this. Do those rates apply to a home equity loan if they wanted to redo something like these?
Home equity loans are different than mortgage loans. So your home equity line of credit, as I understand it, and I'm not a loan officer, but from what I understand, they change with prime. So you take out a line of credit and you have it, and the rate's kind of an adjustable rate. So if you use it, you're going to make payments on it. If you don't use it, then you have no payment on it. And as you use it, as the rates change, so does your line of credit.
All right, good to know. Yeah. And this is a great place. So we'll have more on this specific home. But if you do want to check it out, because it is very, very nice, and we know how quickly things are selling on the market these days. Great spot in Austin town, located close to everything.
Everything, yeah.
Park-like atmosphere, everything. Yeah. Give them the address real quick.
60 North Anderson in Austin town, and you can find it online at kellysoldit.com.
And the other thing that you guys are doing that I wanted to bring up real quick is that if you have some criteria, whether it's an area that you're interested in moving into or a price breakdown, you guys send a very specific email to people that are looking.
Yeah, and while our buyers are out there doing their home search, we want to be helping them along the way. So as soon as something new comes on the market, it's in their inbox so that they can take a look at the pictures and everything, because the market has been moving so fast, you're going to miss stuff if you wait to see it on Zillow or somewhere else.
Right, and that constant checking and having to look between Realtor.com and Zillow.com. Oh my goodness. It's a lot. It's a lot. So kellysoldit.com, call or text. You guys are always answering those phones. Always. What is
330-717-2689.
She knows it. I should know it by heart too.
You should.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks.
Whether it's dinner out with friends and family or your next catered event, Rachel's Restaurant in Austintown always makes it special and delicious. Award-winning cuisine, relaxing atmosphere, and so much more. Rachel's Restaurant, Austintown.
Salt Me is a company that produces products that are made out of Himalayan sea salt. I have a love affair with Himalayan sea salt. And as an ear, nose, and throat doctor, the most important thing for me is that the products are going to be effective and that they're going to be safe for patients. So I make products that help sinus conditions, and I make products that are going to be good for the skin and good for the body. And all of them are made of Himalayan sea salt.
For nearly 80 years, Cafe 422 has been the Valley's premier destination for steaks, seafood, and fine Italian cuisine. Join us at Cafe 422 for lunch, dinner, and all of your special occasions. Cafe 422 in Warren and Boardman.
Welcome back to Valley Spotlight from Gault Heating and Cooling today. Just stick around. One more segment, we're going to pick a winner for the furnace contest.
I know. Okay. All right. The Palace Theater used to be right where the Bistro 1907 and the Hilton parking lot
right on the
used
corner.
to be. And Sean Posey, our resident historian, has a little look back as to what it used to be like.
The corner of Wick Avenue and Commerce Street is relatively quiet today. A few parked cars and a few shrubs give very little indication of the structure that once stood here. But during the height of the Roaring '20s, as downtown Youngstown reached its peak, the Keith Albee Theater, better known as the Palace, opened to capacity crowds. The Palace Theater opened to wide acclaim in the spring of 1926. Its marble columns and staircase and 2,300 seats wowed audiences from opening night. The Palace also featured an exquisite art gallery on the mezzanine level. Tickets on opening night went for 35 cents for the balcony, 50 cents for the mezzanine, 75 cents for the orchestra, and $1 for intimate loge seating. The Palace initially featured vaudeville performances. The finest acts played on the theater's massive stage, the largest ever built in the Mahoning Valley. The vast complex even included stalls large enough to wash horses, which occasionally appeared in the vaudeville shows. After the popularity of vaudeville declined in the 1930s, the Palace Theater hosted Broadway roadshows and the nation's most popular big bands. Frank Sinatra played for frenzied crowds in 1941 and 1942. Glenn Miller, the most celebrated band leader of the era, brought down the house only weeks before he disbanded his orchestra and volunteered for the World War II effort. Vaughn Monroe, Hal McIntyre, Jimmy Dorsey, the Andrews Sisters, and countless others played the Palace during the swing era from 1936 to the mid-1940s. Live performances continued throughout the 1950s, including famous burlesque dancer Gypsy Rose Lee and wholesome Patti Page, who sang her smash hit, The Tennessee Waltz, for an adoring audience.
To the Tennessee Waltz.
Oh! Squash brain, you, what are you doing?
Take a duty.
I'll pick at you in a minute. Go on, get going. Go ahead.
The Three Stooges had locals rolling in the aisles, and the Broadway touring shows continued. South Pacific, The Country Girl, Guys and Dolls, they all played at the Palace. In 1961, William Castle's classic schlock horror film, Homicidal, made its world premiere at the Palace in Youngstown.
Excitement at Youngstown, Ohio. Swarms of customers descend on the box office of the Palace Theater as cash registers ring up record grosses. Homicidal's mixture of suspense plus showmanship add up to a picture with money written all over it. William Castle passes out certificates redeemable during a fright break for those too scared to see the suspenseful climax of Homicidal.
I think it was much better than Psycho. I saw it. My husband did.
Right. I agree.
Mr. Castle, I'd like to congratulate you on a fine piece of production. I think Alfred Hitchcock is going to have to go a long way to try and top something like this.
Well, thank you very much. That's very nice of you to say.
The Psycho-inspired picture and its gimmicky fright break brought national attention to the theater. An unfortunate series of events led to the untimely closure of the Palace and ultimately its demolition in 1966. Step back in time with me and revisit the golden age of entertainment. From turn-of-the-century Nickelodeons to Keith Albee's Vaudeville Palace. From neighborhood theaters of yesteryear to your favorite drive-ins and twin cinemas. They're all featured in historic theaters of Youngstown and the Mahoning Valley. Available from the History Press.
All the stuff you didn't know.
I love those things. I'm not big into the musicals and the theater and everything, but those are fantastic.
They really are. Yeah. Lost Youngstown.
No, Hidden Youngstown.
I'm sorry, yes. Hidden Youngstown is going to be his new book. It's coming out in January. And you know what? Just send us a message at Valley Spotlight on our Facebook page, and we'll be able to put you in touch with him if you're looking for that. We're always here for you.
That's true. All right, to Pesto's Test Kitchen we go. If you like pork and sauerkraut on New Year's, like a lot of people do.
Yes, or Modern Methods breweries of any kind.
Yeah.
You're going to be winning on this one. Mark and I have been friends for many, many years, but we also had the opportunity to make some new friends this year. This
Welcome
is Adam
to the show, brother.
Keck,
Thanks, guys. Glad to be
from
here.
Modern Methods Brewery. For those of you who joined our show early on, as we started, Adam was one of our first stories. Not only is he a tremendous guy, but the beer, right? If you're using his beer, I'm sorry.
Plus, he's from my hometown, Warren, Ohio.
Nothing
so
wrong
it makes
with
it
that.
even better. And he's doing a lot to revitalize the downtown.
Yes,
you know,
he is.
young kid going in and investing all that he invested in downtown Warren. I think that's great. So I think we're going to do what's great for New Year's Day.
Yes, comfort food and good luck food.
Exactly. So good luck food. So we have our induction burner. We're going to start sauteing. We have some pork. We're going to season it. And you can use shoulder, you can use loin, you can use tenderloin.
Adam, you didn't know you were going to learn things
Yeah.
on Valley Spotlight, right?
So we're going to get this and we're going to put it in the pan and we're going to get a sear on it.
It's nice.
And then we're going to add some kielbasa because I love the way the kielbasa, that extra fat from the kielbasa, goes in with the kraut because it just makes for such a great flavor. Okay, so we're going to add some onion, some slivered red onion. We're going to add some apples, and of course Molnar Farms has the best apples. We're going to add those apples into the mix. I like to add a sachet of thyme and fresh bay leaf. We're going to put some kraut. Now, one thing you want to do with your kraut, because of all the salt that's in there, you want to drain it a little bit. Okay, and you actually want to.
You got a lot of salt going on in there.
You got a lot of salt with the kielbasa, so you don't want that extra sodium. So you're going to put the kraut in there.
Drain the kraut, Adam.
Absolutely.
Drain the kraut.
So, and I like to put a little bit of brown sugar, a little bit more sweetness with the apples to go. But I'll tell you what, one thing I have to have with my pork and kraut is I have to have a good beer to go inside of it. It just brings everything together. So what do you have for us today?
So we brought our Seven Frogs Local Pale Ale. Cooking with IPAs or hoppier beers is sometimes a little tricky because you can get a lot of that bitterness in the end. But this is all late hops, so you just get those fresh hop flavors and aromas. So
plus, I think with the apples and the brown sugar and all those rich, unctuous flavors from the pork and the kielbasa, I think it's going to go perfectly.
Sounds good. And if you can't beat the hops, are actually from Mecca, Ohio. We picked them. So.
Awesome.
Happy New Year, you guys. I was going to say, you tell them.
Keep going. We're going to make it happy. I would say about 2 cups.
2 cups.
This is an estimate right now.
That looks great.
All right.
So we're going to bring this to a boil, and then what we're going to do is, Lauren, we're going to do a little new cooking.
A new cooking for the new
way
year.
of cooking,
A new way
but
of
old cooking.
All right.
We're going to pressure cook this in one of these new wave pressure cookers.
All right, we'll take a break.
It's called the Instapot. Instead of it taking 2.5 hours in your oven, it's going to take 35 minutes.
You know who loves it? Ron Flaviano, our videographer.
And my wife, Melissa Canzonetta.
I know, she couldn't wait to... Really? Oh my gosh, I got to get on this bandwagon, you guys.
All right.
We'll be right back, okay?
No hot water? Call A to Z Dependable Services. Our fully stocked rapid response water heater specialist will get you back in hot water in no time. A to Z is the only call you need to make. Only A to Z.com.
Heels is the low-cost living, anti-inflation department store.
Shop Hills in the Liberty, Lincoln Knolls, and Boardman Plaza's Youngstown, and the Ridgeview Plaza in Warren, and the Hills location in Champion, all open 10 till 10 daily.
All right, the magic, the new way of
35
cooking, you
minutes.
guys.
Is that unbelievable or what?
It really is. Should I do the honors? Is
do
that
the honors.
okay?
I was dying to smell it.
Let's see here. Oh gosh, Ron made fun of me. Could I handle this? And I can. See, Ron?
And it has a handy little stand out here.
It does.
So 35 minutes later, we have pork, kielbasa, and kraut finished to perfection. Adam, what do you think that beer is going to do inside there?
I mean, get those fresh hop flavors, a little herbal, little citrusy, Let's taste it in the glass.
Yeah, let's taste it in the glass.
And then
Lauren, you want to put some? Because some people like, on New Year's Day, they like mashed potatoes with it.
Okay.
But you can also make a grinder sandwich out of it. And I've actually taken some of that beautiful slaw and made it into my Reubens, because I love serving Reubens, because I don't know about you guys, but on January 1st, I love watching college football.
Yes. And anything comfort food, easy to eat. Obviously, Mark's not going to hire me here at Bistro 1907 anytime soon.
That's perfect. That's
Is that
perfect.
good?
I think that's great. You want to taste it?
I was going to say, I brought some plates over here, and I can keep going. You want me to
Well,
keep
here,
going?
why don't you make a grinder?
Okay. Very nice. You guys.
Pork is nice and tender. It's cooked down, you know, that 35 minutes versus 2.5 hours. When you're usually using a tougher cut of meat, like a pork shoulder or from the butt or the ham, it takes a little bit longer to cook because you have to break down those connective tissues.
That is really,
Does that look fantastic
really
or what?
Beautiful. What do you think, Adam?
Looks great.
It smells like home.
What are you gonna eat?
I think I'm gonna do the small, tiny little
You're
Reuben.
gonna do a
But
Reuben?
first, you guys.
Here's a great cheers to 2019.
2019.
I'm so
Cheers.
proud of both of you, two very new business owners around here, and I am just, cheers to you guys.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you
nice
so much
stuff.
for having us, Lauren. So what are your hours down there at Modern Methods?
So we are open Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursdays 4 to 10. Fridays 2 to 11. Saturdays noon to 11, and then we just added Sunday.
Sunday, so I can come
watch
see you after
football,
work.
hang
Yeah.
out. Absolutely. So that's 12 to 7 on Sundays.
Well, here's a plate.
I was
Dig
gonna
in.
say, grab
Absolutely.
a sandwich,
I'm gonna taste
you
the kraut
guys.
because I am dying to taste it because I love the way that tastes.
I am too.
You get the sweetness, you get the sugar, you get the acid from the beer, you get the rich fat from the kielbasa and the pork.
I think this beer is gonna make it. You guys, this is wonderful.
Great job on this beer, man. This rocks.
Thank you.
All right, here's
Happy
to a
New
great
Year.
2019.
Welcome back to this very special edition of Valley Spotlight. As promised, Pastor Brad from Rust City, nice to see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming over to my house, and we're talking about something that I have to admit, some people get a little uncomfortable. They don't know how to describe it. We're talking about the power of prayer, especially for this episode, Brad, because we have a lot of people that are dealing with cancer and some rough roads. And we always say, my prayers and my thoughts are with you.
Yeah.
But what does that really mean?
Yeah.
What does it mean to you?
Yeah.
It's your job, right? So you get to it.
Well, I guess it's my job, but we all have an opportunity to be able to pray. And I think really at a baseline level, what prayer is, it's a relationship with God.
Okay.
We don't have a God who is an impersonal cosmic force or who lives in a galaxy far, far away. But he's a God who wants to talk to you. You know, he's a father who he wants to have meaningful conversation and relationship with his children. So in the same way that if you wanted to talk to your daughter,
yes,
you go and you would talk to her and you want to hear back from her.
And as a parent, yes, that's what you want. You want to have that open line of communication. And as a dog parent, you never know when they're going to be running around. It's always super fun.
Yeah.
But when you see people starting whatever that's called, prayer or positive thinking or putting themselves out there, is it met with anything? Does it matter?
Yeah, well, 100% I believe it matters. It's the most important thing that we can do. You know, if God is real and God is out there and God cares about us, loves us, and wants to be involved, then what an amazing opportunity to be able to take my cares, my concerns, really my life, get it out of my hands and get it into the hands of someone who knows what to do with it even better than I do. So I don't know about you, but I'm not all that great all the time.
No.
I don't have all the answers all the time.
No, and sometimes we were just joking around before we started to sit down, and this is a completely unedited interview, and we didn't rehearse any of this. But yes, being able to hand it over to somebody when people are asking you those questions, it's like, where do you turn?
Yeah.
And like when people are faced with cancer, when people are faced with, losing a job or a loved one during COVID, a pandemic, what do you do? How do you manage it?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things that prayer does is it can bring a lot of peace into our lives.
Yeah.
Because when we're trying to hold on to everything, I mean, that's a recipe for stress. We're just not built for it. We don't have the capacity for it. We're limited.
You said recipe for stress. I think it's a recipe for disaster. I feel like when I do it, I'm just gonna not do anything well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then having the understanding that God is actually on the other end of the line and he can actually answer me. That's where peace really comes from. Also, he can bring healing and answers to things that are going on in our lives.
If you're in a mindset where you're open to that, is there any proof that it really does work? Have you ever, I know personally that I have lived through many things in my life where prayer is the only thing that has gotten me through, or being able to hand it over to somebody bigger than myself. For you, it's your job. Do you see it working?
Yeah.
Does it matter?
Let me tell you a really quick story. Just about a couple weeks ago at the church, we had a lady who she has plantar fasciitis.
Yeah,
in
that's
her
awful heel pain for people.
Yeah.
It's like you can't even walk.
Yeah, she was talking about how every time that she stood up, her feet would just bother her, she'd be in pain. So we prayed for her, and it wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't anything overcomplicated. There wasn't a perfect formula or things that we had to say to get God to respond.
I think that's a good thing. That's good to know. Okay, we don't have to say anything specific. Cool. Okay, continue.
Just prayed for her feet, and we asked that God would do what God does. And she said in that moment, her feet not only stopped bothering her right then, but also they haven't bothered her since. And that's something that only God could do. It's not something that I have the power to do, or any of us have the power to do.
I was gonna fist bump you, but I'll just fist bump.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
Up the big guy upstairs.
It makes more sense, I think. Gosh, I was not expecting you to say that.
Yeah.
That's it is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And what you guys have done there at the church is made that open line of communication for people to bring themselves exactly the way they are. And you're a young pastor, to see people like you, living it and just sharing it, I think is a huge blessing. Sorry if that's an overused statement towards you guys, but
well, thank you. I love what I get to help people do, help introduce people to God and grow in their relationship with God.
And I think there's a lot of people who could use more of that, and we do have a lot of people on this show specifically that we are grateful for and thankful for in so many ways, and we are grateful and thankful for you guys too.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us, and sit tight. We have the biggest announcement we've ever had on this show.
Can't wait.
Don't you move on myself. Unbelievable to hear it from such a young pastor's perspective, you guys. The power of prayer, we know it works. Just the mindset of it.
Great time of year for that too.
Lots of people saying prayers when it comes to what you guys do for a living. You guys have been so wonderful in helping us, give away a furnace this year.
Yep, so now's the time.
We had lots and lots of entries.
Almost 100, between 50 and 100 entries.
So many compelling, wonderful stories, and of course we would love to be able to help all of them, but there's just one. So Stephanie Conlin of Warren, Ohio, her mom nominated her. She is a mother of 3. They haven't had heat in a couple of years. So Stephanie.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Tell the folks why you guys decided to do this, in case they're tuning in just a little bit late.
Well, this is something that's special to us. I mean,
thank you. This is such a big deal.
This is what we do. We go out every day. We get heat on, or in the wintertime we get cooling on in the summertime. Mm-hmm. This is who we are and what we do. So when we hear stories where there's people out there that don't get heat on, we read too many of these stories. We want to do what we can to help contribute, and this is the Valley that supports us, and we want to give back and help the Valley and what we can do. This is us. This is what we do. We're Gault Heating.
Yeah.
We help the community.
How many years in business now? Did you start it, or did somebody?
My father did in 1955.
Wow.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Then I took it over, and now Glenn Jr. is running the show here.
And he's doing a heck of a job.
So far, so good.
I was going to say,
he's doing great.
we are so. Thank you for doing this with us. What do you think is going to happen next?
Well, we're just so blessed to be able to be a part of this, and I really thank you guys for helping us get this all together.
You're welcome.
To be able
at least
to
we
do a
could
neat thing like this. We were talking about what we're doing here, and we read with these different people with different things going on. And I talked with my family and the team, and we said, we're doubling down, and we're going to do it again.
We got another winner? We have 2 winners.
We're 2 of them.
2 winners. Who is it?
Another one.
Oh my God!
We're going to do 2 of them.
Oh, thank God!
Who is it?
Oh, thank God!
This is going to be Andrew Young.
Nice.
So
Andrew Young, we'll call you.
Not too far from here?
No, in
Or is it
Hubbard.
what part of town?
Not far from Hubbard.
Right.
And his dad nominated him.
Way to go, Andrew! Congratulations. I hope him or his dad is watching.
6-year-old and a 4-year-old. Oh, God.
Oh, so good.
Thank you so much,
good.
you guys.
So the team, we were reading these different stories, and we said we got to go a little further.
And there's a couple more that we're going to help in off
So-
camera in different ways because there are other programs out there. But
Thanks to everybody that nominated and took the time. It's really fantastic what you're trying to do for the people in your family and your friends. I think that's great. So
I'm going to let you just take it, Mike.
All right, that's going to wrap up this week's edition
Sorry,
of Valley
that is very
Spotlight.
nice.
I hope you're
Very
not
nice.
crying at home too much. Thanks again to the whole team here and the family at Gault Heating and Cooling. We couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Glad to do it.
All right, we thought we'd keep us in the holiday spirit and do a little walkthrough at Squaw Creek as they're getting ready for all the kids' parties this week. So thanks again. Have a great holiday, everybody. We'll see you on the other side.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
If you like this video, subscribe to Valley Spotlight on YouTube and be sure to click on the notifications bell so you know when we've got some new stuff. You also can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to us on Vimeo or our Roku channel.